you have, suppose the force on the moving charge. This is what we had to see. Force on moving charge in magnetic field. Magnetic field. So this is just I have introduced you about this one. So what did I tell you was like when you have a conductor, the conductor is carrying a current of I, and this is how when you put your thumb and the directions of the field, you know, and suppose there is a positive charge Q, if it is moving with the velocity of V, then one can say that the magnetic force which is acting on it, Fm, is given by Q into V bar cross B bar. This is what the magnetic force, what you see on the moving charge. The beauty about the magnetic force is that when the charge, it acts, the magnetic force acts, the magnetic force acts only on the charge which is in motion. That is the most important thing. And afterwards there is another aspect also, I told you I will tell according to that. And of course the theta, the angle, it also depends upon the angle theta between V bar and B bar. This is where I'm just recapping the things. This is where we have stopped. So someone wants to make a note, you can make a note. So I'll tell you some different situations. Today we'll talk about several scenarios, how to take this cross product and how to see. So note it. I hope this is already there for you. Suppose, so how to see the V bar cross B bar thing. Suppose this is V bar and this is B bar. V bar cross B bar means you got to align V bar with B bar, and you can assume that here you have the screw, right? This is the screw you have, and now you have to tighten this with a screwdriver, right? You have to tighten this with the screwdriver, and now this is the direction of the movement of the screw. And when you tighten the screw to the top, right, when you got to rotate this in this direction in order to tighten, right? When you are rotating, the V bar rotates to B bar with an angle theta, and now the direction of the movement of the screw gives V bar cross B bar. That's how we see the cross products. And now the another thing, what are the situations where you get the force zero? The one situation is that this is the magnetic field, and now the charged particle is unmoved, that is V is equal to 0, and the B bar is there and V is equal to 0, and then you can say Fm is equal to 0. Magnetic force goes to 0 in this case. Clear? This is the case 1. The case 2 is that, so this is the case 1. What are the cases in which Fm is 0? That's what we are seeing. Okay, please note this. Case 1. Case 1 is the charge is not in motion. That means it is stationary. So it is a stationary charge. Stationary charge. So this is the case 1. Of course, another case is a very trivial thing. If B bar is 0, magnetic force is 0. That is a trivial thing. B bar is 0, Fm is 0. So that is also a trivial thing. B bar is there is no magnetic field, there is no magnetic force. These are two trivial cases what you have to know. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, after this, suppose this is the direction of the magnetic field. And now this is the point, you have the charge plus Q and it's moving like this. What is the angle between B bar and the V bar now? B bar is parallel to V bar, which means the theta is 0. Means Fm is given by Q into mod V bar mod B bar sine theta, but theta is 0, sine 0 is 0, so Fm is 0. So when B bar is parallel to V bar, magnetic force is 0. So if the charge, this is the case where the charge is moving in the direction of the magnetic field, in the direction of the magnetic field, magnetic field, the charge is moving in the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, this is the another case where Fm is 0. Hope you understood. Fm is given by mod Fm bar is Q into mod V bar mod B bar sine theta. This is the expansion of the cross product. This is how you get. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can I move ahead? Yeah. Now another case is like this is the B bar vector and the V bar means like the charge is moving opposite to the direction of magnetic field. This is my plus charge. This is moving opposite to the direction of the magnetic field. That means V bar is parallel to minus B bar. This situation is called anti-parallel condition. For the anti-parallel condition, theta is 180 degrees. When theta is 180, let's calculate Fm bar. Fm bar is Q into mod V bar mod B bar sine theta. Theta is 180. Let us substitute. So mod Fm bar is Q into mod V bar mod B bar sine 180. Sine 180 is 0. So this entire thing is 0. You have to remember this thing. Sine of 180 degrees is 0. Sine 0 is 0. Hopefully, I hope you know these things. So these are the conditions what you have to remember. Something is popping up. Okay. Can you clear this, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Now, if there is one thing, you have to understand one more thing. Fm bar is perpendicular to V bar and B bar always. Fm bar is perpendicular to V bar and B bar, to both V bar and B bar always. So Fm bar dot V bar is 0 because dot product of the vectors is 0 if it is perpendicular to both the vectors. And similarly, Fm bar dot B bar is equal to 0. These are also very important conditions in solving some problems. Now, after this, to find the direction of the magnetic field, we have to do something. Some few questions are there based on how do we solve the direction of the magnetic field, magnetic force, in fact. So, can I clear? Yeah. The next one is right hand palm rule to find the direction of Fm bar. So this right hand palm rule is very, very important. You have to note this. There are something like corkscrew rule is one thing you can use. Otherwise, Fleming's left hand rule is there. Instead, I found this very helpful, which is called right hand palm rule. What is this? Take your right hand, okay, and put the fingers in the direction of magnetic field. Put the fingers in the direction of magnetic field. Take your right hand and put your fingers in the direction of magnetic field. Next, thumb in the direction of movement of, I should say, movement of positive charge. Thumb in the direction of movement of. Take your right hand first. Put the fingers in the direction of the magnetic field. First thing. Take your right hand and put the fingers in the direction of magnetic field. Next, thumb in the direction of movement of positive charge. Okay. Okay, this is the first part you had to do. And now the third thing is very simple. Note it. First these two you had to do. The whatever the direction the palm shows, that's the direction of the magnetic force. That's the third thing. Okay. The direction to which the palm shows gives the direction of magnetic force. Based on this, we will solve some few problems based on these three. So the first thing, now the problem one, this is the problem one. You got to find the direction of the magnetic force. Now the field is inside your screen, phone screen, right? Now you are seeing your phone screen. The field is very much inside your phone screen. Now, what is the step one? I am not done given the positive charge. Okay. So let's put some different color. This is my positive charge plus Q. Okay. Plus Q. This is moving this way with the velocity v bar. And now the field direction is inside. So put your fingers in the direction of the magnetic field. Magnetic field is inside the screen, going inside, right? All of you. Put your palm fingers. Okay. I think I can open my video. That would be better. Now, yeah. See my palm. This is how you have to put. Everyone able to see me? Please respond to me. Now this is the direction. My thumb shows the direction in which the charge is moving. Thumb direction shows the direction of charge. My palm shows the direction of the magnetic force. So the magnetic force direction is this way. I'm not showing my video because the reason that it may ask some little bit more bandwidth. So only for that. So this is the direction of the magnetic force. FM bar, as simple as that. Or the other way is like you have this, put like this, and then lift your fingers. Just lift your fingers. The fingers will show the direction of the magnetic force. That's simple as that. Like this. You cannot lift the fingers backwards. See, please understand that. You can lift the fingers only one way. If you lift the fingers, suppose the direction is like this, lift the fingers or down the fingers. This shows the direction. So here in this case, it's like this, lift the fingers. That shows the direction of the magnetic force. Hope you understand this one. Like this. This shows the direction of the magnetic force. Now, can I clear? This one understood? Direction of the magnetic force. Understood, everyone? How to deal with this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Question number 2. Now, if I draw like this, field is coming out of the paper, which I have already mentioned in the earlier classes. This is the magnetic field which is coming out of the paper. Now, this is like this. The positive charge. Now, let's put a different color. Now, this is our positive charge plus Q. It's moving this way. Now, it's moving this way. Now, can you tell me the direction of the magnetic field? First, put your fingers in the direction of the magnetic field. So the thing is that the fingers, you have to point them out, not inside. Fingers have to be pointed out because the direction of the magnetic field is outside. You have to put away from the screen, and the charge is moving down. Okay, maybe the video that will help you. We'll take it for a few minutes, few seconds. You may see this one. So it's like this towards me, and now my palm shows this way, and this is that magnetic movement. The force is towards left side. Someone don't understand, please let me know. This one, it's pretty easy. This is how the left side the force is acting. This is Fm bar. Check it. You can put your hand, it's the play of the hand. That's all you have to do. Put your hand in the direction of field. Field is coming out, put your hand in that way, and your thumb should point the velocity. Velocity is downwards, and then your palm will show some direction, and then lift the fingers. You can lift the fingers only in one way. Not possible. Our body dynamics will not agree. So the finger direction will show left side. The force is applied onto the towards left side. So that's the direction of the force. One more. Okay, clear? Can I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, third one. The field lines are going like this downwards. Field lines are moving downwards. So this is my B bar. And we have the charge plus Q, right? Plus Q is like this. And the movement of plus Q is this way. Someone try this and tell me what would be the direction of the magnetic force. I'll be waiting. No problem. Take your time. Your hand has to be placed in direction of the magnetic field, and your thumb should point out. You have to take your right hand first, and your thumb should point the direction of the movement of the charge. That means here is my V bar. V bar direction is here. I'm drawing with the different colors so that you will understand this in pretty good way. I'm waiting for your answer. Think about it and give me. Able to tell? Or difficult? Okay. Well, check this one. This is how. This is how when you put. There's like in temple the DT will give no that direction you have to give. So Lord Venkateshwara, he will push the hand like this. So that direction if you give, and this way this is, and lift the fingers, it's going inside the board. So the direction of the magnetic field is inside the board. And no one has answered me yet. So that's why I have to give this. Clear? Inwards. Inwards. This is the direction of the magnetic force. This is the direction of magnetic force. One more. One more. Next question. So this is the direction of B bar. Okay. And the plus Q charge is moving this way. So this is the problem number 4. Give a try. Problem number 5 is every one of you should give a try. You have to tell me the answers. Okay. Now you have a charge plus Q moving upwards. Now it's like this. Tell me the direction of the force. Which direction does it apply? In this case and that other case. Can someone tell me? Is it really that tough? Unless you understand this, this is almost like we are closing to the thing. 1 or 2 classes, this will be over. Maybe next week I'll try to complete this one. Is it really that tough for you? Tell me, everyone. So it's the answer is, if you look at the palm, it's towards me. The field is towards me. It's out of your screen. That's the force. The force direction is out of the screen. So this is outward. Fm is outward here. If you use your palm is upwards, the fingers are upwards, thumb in the direction of the movement of the charge. This is the V bar. This is what is provided to you. And the movement is towards you. So that's what the fourth one. The fifth one, everyone, fifth one. Left side or right side? Hello, I want to answer. Answer, please. I think someone gave a chart. Left sides are very good. Very good. Left side, very good. Very good. Left side, very good. That's fine. Good. You understood the concept. That's what I want. It's really good. Cool. Now, we have this question. So we have a wire which is having a current of 2 amperes, which is flowing through the wire like this. And now we have a point P. This is an infinite wire. Please understand, this is an infinite wire. For this infinite wire, there is a charge of +1 microcoulomb. This is the charge. And the charge is moving with a velocity of 10 meters second inverse. Okay. Now, what you have to do is find the force acting on the charged particle, acting on the charged particle, and the direction of the force. Direction of force. Okay, I not given the distance. The distance is about 2 meters. Is the distance. That's it. This is all which is given. And you got to find the magnetic force acting on the charged particle. So for an infinite wire case, what is the magnetic field? B is equal to mu naught I by 2 pi r. These things you had to know. What is r? R is 2 meters. So let's substitute 2 mu naught by 2 pi. What is a mu naught by 2 pi value? 2 into 10 power minus 7. Mu naught by 4 pi is 10 power minus 7. Mu naught by 2 pi is double than that. So 2 into 10 power minus 7. I is 2 amps and R is 2 meters. So 2 into 10 power minus 7 Tesla is the amount of magnetic field. First magnetic field we got. And since you see this angle is 90, what is the direction of the magnetic field? That is inwards. Magnetic field is inwards. So your velocity is upwards. And now you do it shows that the deflection is towards the wire. Right hand palm rule. Deflection towards wire. See, at the point P, the direction of the magnetic field is inwards, right? For the wire. And now place your fingers along that. You have the positive charge moment with the thumb, and lift your fingers. The fingers will tell that the charge is deflected towards the wire. Hope I am clear. After that, FM is very easy. QVB sine theta. Sine theta is anyway sine 90. So this is the theta, that is 90. So QVB sine 90 is what you have. So the Q, of course, you have to see the direction of the field. This is one, and velocity, both are perpendicular, of course. So that's the angle. So QVB sine 90. Q is about 1 microcoulomb, that is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 coulombs. And V is 10, and B is 2 into 10 power minus 7. Sine 90 is 1 anyway. So this value, when you calculate, that is 2 into 10 to the power of minus 12 newtons. This is the force, magnetic force, which is experienced by the charge towards the wire. Hope I am clear. Apply your right hand palm rule, you will get it. Very good. Some people got this idea. Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. Question number 2 is very simple. B bar is given to you. B bar is 2I plus 3J plus K, and V bar is about 3I minus 4J, 3I minus 4J, and Q is about 1 microcoulomb. And find the force F. That's all the question is. So the force F M bar is given by Q into V bar cross B bar. And now the Q is 1 microcoulomb, thus that is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 coulombs into V bar cross B bar. The cross product you had to find. For that, what you had to do is I cap, J cap, K cap. This is how you had to solve the determinant. So 3 minus 4, the K part is 0, and 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1. This is the other model what you can see in the examinations. So Fm bar, that's Q, that is 10 power minus 6 coulombs, and you have I cap into minus 4 minus J cap into 3 plus K cap into 9 plus 8, 17, right? So this is what you get. So it's about minus 4I minus 3J plus 17K multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 6 newtons. So this is what you get. And now after this, it's not over. You had to find the magnitude of the force. The magnitude of the force can be calculated by taking the magnitude of this vector. Magnitude of the vector is square root of 4 square plus 3 square plus 17 square. So multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 6 newtons. Here you get square root of 314 into 10 power minus 6 newtons. This is what you get. By using the, you can use, I told you, the square root approximation. Using the square root approximation, you can solve this square root of 314. How to do that? 314 lies between the squares. 17 square, that is 289, and 18 square, which is 324. So the fractional, the integral part is 17 only, so no problem. The fractional part is what you had to solve, that is 314 minus 289 whole divided by 324 minus 289. So you get around 25 by 35. So you get 5 by 7. So the 5 by 7 is about 0.33. 0.133 is what you get. So it's when you work out the field, the magnitude of the magnetic field works out to be Fm bar. Magnitude is 17.133 into 10 to the power of minus 6 newtons. Your options will contain this like this. So this is how you can work out. So how much it will work out, let me check once. So 0. So 77, sorry, 77 set to 733, 17.7. Yeah, 117.7. Am I going correctly? 0.7, 49, 1. So 1, 711, sorry, 711 is what you, 714, something like this. 714 you will get 7.1, not 133, 17.714 into 10 power minus 6 newtons. This is what you get from our approximation. Can I clear? Yeah, I hope I can clear. There's a very interesting question now. A moving charge is projected in magnetic field in a magnetic field, B bar is equal to 3I cap plus 4J cap into 10 to the power of minus 2 Tesla. That is what they have given. And the charge is accelerated. And the charge is accelerated. And the charge is accelerated at A bar is equal to xi cap plus 2j cap. Xi cap plus 2j cap. This is what you have. Find x. Find x. So the options they have given 3 by 8. Option B minus 3 by 8. Option C is 8 by 3. Option D is minus 8 by 3. So these are the options which is given. Read the question carefully. A moving charge is projected in the magnetic field. Magnetic field they have given. And the charge is accelerated. They have given acceleration. So this is very conceptual based question. So I told you the concept already. So please note it. After noting, I'll tell you. Highly conceptual based question. Noted. Hopefully noted. I'll clear this. Option D is the right answer. Option D is the right answer. You can take it. So we'll see why option D is the right answer. How it is. So I told you Fm bar is Q into V bar cross B bar. And Fm bar is perpendicular to V bar cross V bar and B bar. V bar and B bar, it is perpendicular. So I also told you that Fm bar dot B bar, the dot products will go to 0. Fm bar dot B bar, these are 0. Now acceleration will happen in the direction of force. Acceleration will happen in the direction of force. In the direction of force, right? So you can say removing Fm bar, I can say mass into acceleration bar, ma bar dot b bar, we can say that is equal to 0. So I can simply say a bar dot b bar is equal to 0. This is the concept on which we work the question. So we have acceleration xi cap plus xi cap plus 2j cap, that's the acceleration, dot b bar is 3i cap plus 4j cap. 3i cap plus 4j cap. That is equal to 0. So when you make the dot product, so you get 3x plus 8 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 8 by 3. Hence the answer finished. This is, I term this as very, very important question. The question is very, very important. Note it. Like anyone having doubt, you can ask me, no problem. It's very simple. I tell you, it's like a very, it's having some depth of knowledge within that. Those who know the concept on a conceptual question, this is. conceptual question. Clear? And you have a bar dot b bar is 0 and v bar dot a bar is also 0. That is from this. Both are really important. These two statements are important. Based on this, the question I have given you, that's how you can see the question. Now, clear? Can I clear? I hope I can clear. Now, next very important point. Work done by the magnetic force on the moving charge is always 0. Why it is like that? You see our palm rule, what it says. Suppose this is the magnetic field. Now let us say a charge Q is moving upwards like this. Now which way the force will act? This is a simple situation. Force will act towards left side. Okay, this one we just solved. This is the magnetic force. And now magnetic force and velocity, we just did this one. Fm bar dot v bar is equal to 0. We just did this. Now displacement happens in the direction of velocity. Displacement happens in the direction of velocity. So what will happen? Fm bar dot s bar, that is also 0. Fm bar dot s bar is 0 means work done is 0. Because work done is F bar dot S bar. Work done is 0. Work done is 0 by the magnetic force. Work done is 0 by the magnetic force. Okay. When the work done becomes 0, when the force and displacement act in opposite direction. Sorry. When they are perpendicular to each other. Always Clear? So F bar is always perpendicular to S bar in the case of when charge enters the magnetic field with a velocity v. Is this clear? Hope this is clear. Now, so this is the condition. So Fm bar and S bar and V bar, in fact S bar, are always perpendicular to each other at any instant. Which leads to circular motion. Circular motion of the charged particle, which leads to circular motion of the charged particle. Now, second point is that as there is circular motion, in fact, uniform circular motion, we have uniform circular motion, we have centripetal force. Centripetal force acting on the charge. Acting on the charge. Once noted, please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, so these are 2 points which you have to remember. Now, next point, the centripetal force. Centripetal force for the circular motion is provided by the magnetic force. So we can write the equation F magnetic is equal to F centripetal. So we'll come to some equation. So like this we can write. So what is the magnetic force QVB? since all are perpendicular to each other, sine 90, sine 90 is 1. Centripetal force is given by mv square by r. If r is the radius of the circular path. Radius of the circular path. Circular path. M is mass of charged particle. Charged particle. M is the mass of the charged particle. So can I clear? Written this. Hope I can clear. Now we have the equation QVB, that is the magnetic force, is equal to mv square by r. V gets cancelled. So I get R is equal to mv by QB, where R is the radius of the circular path described by the charged particle. Radius of the circular path described by the charged particle. R is equal to mv by bq. Very important. Clear? Is this part clear, everyone? Hopefully I can clear this. Yeah. No. So we have a question. Prior to that, this is another point you have to know. For a negative charge, give the reverse direction while calculating the force, while taking the force direction. with respect to positive charge. Positive charge. Okay, what does it mean? Suppose for positive charge you got upwards. If there is a negative charge, you assume positive charge first. Suppose negative charge is there, you assume positive charge, and then you do everything whatever I told in the Palm rule. And then when there is a negative charge, reverse the direction what you got. Exactly reverse the direction what you got. For example, I'll tell you here. Suppose here these problems are very famous actually, can be asked in the examination. How I tell you, this is how it will be asked. Suppose this is the direction of the field. Okay. So field is inwards. Field is inwards. Now electron, they said that there is a electron which is moving in like this. Electron is there. Electron is a negative charged entity. So it is moving this way. This is the velocity of the charged particle. Now they asked when electron enters in magnetic field, so this they have given it as initial u. Initially they have given u, magnetic field, its speed v. That's all they have given. So mod v bar, initially it entered with mod u bar. Okay, u bar. So the option A is mod v bar is equal to mod u bar, y is greater than 0. Option B, mod v bar greater than mod u bar, y is greater than 0. Option C, mod v bar is equal to mod u bar, y is less than 0. Option D is mod v bar is greater than mod u bar, y is less than 0. So there is one important point. After this I will tell you. There is one important point. I think I forgot that. Anyway, I'll mention that now. When a charged particle enters uniform magnetic field, its speed will not change. That is first foremost point. So you have to check the option where v bar equal to u bar. These are two options. And now which way it will move? You can see that by palm direction. So assume this is positive charge. So, but this is negative charge. So as per this, it will move up. But this electron, negative charge, right? So reverse the direction, it will move down. So moving down means that is negative y direction, that is y less than 0 and v equal to u. So two concepts you have to know. When a charged particle enters the magnetic field, remember, very important. After this, I will tell you. Once you note, I will tell you. 2 points I have to tell you. I think I forgot that point. Clear? I hope noted. So there are two things. As work done by the magnetic field on the charged particle is zero. By work energy theorem, you can tell that change in the kinetic energy is also zero. Work energy theorem says that, all of you heard of it. So work done by the conservative forces plus non-conservative force, everything is zero. Change in kinetic energy is zero. That means half initial kinetic energy. You can say that initial Ke initial is equal to kinetic energy final. This is from the work energy theorem. From work energy theorem. I told you this will come everywhere. With this, you can solve any kind of problem. So when delta Ke is equal to 0, Ke initial is equal to Ke final. So half mv square is equal to half mu square. So here you can cancel. You can say V is equal to U. In fact, mod V bar is equal to mod U bar. Means speed will not change with the effect of when speed will not change for the charged particle. Okay, we'll write like this. For the charged particle in uniform magnetic field. Uniform magnetic field. Speed will not change, but the direction of velocity will change. That is the idea you have to get. Speed will not change, but the direction of velocity will change. Speed will not change, but the direction of velocity will change. So let me write that. Speed of the charged particle will not change, but the direction of magnetic field will change for the direction of velocity. I did a blunder. By the direction of speed of the charged particle will not change, but the direction of velocity will change when the charged particle is entering, particle has entered uniform magnetic field. Uniform magnetic field. So these are the most important things. Speed will not change, but the direction of velocity will change. Because there is a direction of change in velocity, there is circular motion. there is circular motion means there is centripetal acceleration. So like that it goes. So velocity, dot product of velocity and acceleration is 0. Dot product of b bar and acceleration is 0. These are the concepts on which we have to learn today. I think this part here, it goes that up to this point, I feel that at this point this is sufficient. Later we have some few more concepts to be dealt. What is the next one? I'll let me check. Please note up to this point. You have still 5 minutes to go. So let me check. So now. Okay, we can calculate the time period and then frequency of rotation. Okay, now we'll derive the equations for the time period. Suppose the charged particle completes one full circular rotation. Okay, then the time period, then the time it took is called time period t. Time period t. How to calculate time period? T is equal to circumference, that is 2 pi r, which means that I told you that the particle describes circular motion. So the charge will be having a radius of r. Suppose it took for the full rotation, that time is called time period t, that is 2 pi r divided by the velocity of the charged particle. So velocity, how do we get? R is equal to, we know, mv by bq. I just derived that. So v is equal to bqr divided by capital M, sorry, small m. So plug in that 2 pi r divided by bqr whole divided by m. So cancel r. So you get 2 pi m divided by bq. This is called the time period of rotation of the charged particle. Time period of rotation of the charged particle. Okay, this is time period of rotation. Now after that we have one small thing. If you know time period, you can calculate frequency very easily. So these are the expressions for the cyclotron simply. Okay, frequency is given by 1 by time period. So invert it. So bq divided by 2 pi m. Hence the answer. So this is the frequency of rotations. Frequency of rotation, and this is the time period of rotation. So these are the basic fundamental ideas what you need. Some connecting equations next class we'll discuss. There are some few problems based on this, and after that I hope this is nearing to the end. Yeah, I hope this is the sufficient. This is sufficient. So please note. Clear, everyone? Okay, we'll clear. Thank you all. We'll meet. I think we can meet next week. Hopefully, you would have written the stuff. Bye. See you all.